We are farmers. Dum bum 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 bum.
Mm-hmm. That's true. It's Wednesday.
Now I got that. I'm the liberty. Fuck all these commercials.
AJ Wentworth.
877 cats now. Fucking hell.
It's my money, and I
Money
now.
God. Give me money.
Yeah, give me money.
Welcome back to Everyone Sucks Here with Sam, Sushie, and AJ. It is Wednesday.
Yeah.
Definitely Wednesday. That's not a lie.
100% Wednesday.
Definitely Wednesday. Definitely not doing any recording magic when this is happening.
No,
right?
it's 100%. This is live.
Yeah.
If you know us, you know we don't know magic.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, we're not good enough for that kind of stuff. We
We didn't get the magic
we don't
gene.
have that sleight of hand,
The magic gene.
You guys have any news or any updates or anything you want to share?
No.
Wow. None at all.
I had to think about it. No.
What about
not
you?
really.
What about you, Sam?
To celebrate season 3 of Everyone Sucks Here, I have added a free code to my fan house, where if you sign up for my fan house and use the code ESH at sign up, you'll get a free month sub, and that's going to be running to the end of the month. So this is perfect.
Oh my
This will go
god!
up in
I
August
should
anyway.
do
And what's
the
that link,
same
Sam?
thing.
It is fanhouse.app/SamJ.
Look at that.
Bam.
Ooh, that's
looks
not
like-
a bad idea.
Looks like by the time this comes out, there might be another promotion on Sushie.
I would probably, you know what? I'm just going to call it right now. Go on fanhouse.app/SushieMonster. And same code, free month.
So
Do it. Let's go. ESH, let's go.
You know what my favorite part
We're
about
turning.
this is? She's acting like this is brand new, but she fucking liked and retweeted my announcement. This just goes to show how much she pays attention
Tweet a
on
lot of things.
no, here's the thing. It's not about paying attention. It's about she's supporting her friend and
Yeah.
doesn't care what it is.
Yeah.
So whatever you put out, she's supporting it by
I'm
liking
going to
and
like
retweeting
it.
Yeah.
And I'm going to retweet it
The
because
true-
you're my friend.
The true MVP
And I-
of
and I
Twitter.
saw the ESH and went, that's about me too.
For those of you who are listening on the on Spotify or any of the podcast apps, we appreciate it. But for those of you also listening on things like YouTube, I have been putting those links. There's all sorts of links down below in that little area right down there. So it's like things to our our Gilded, which is open for the community to join and hang out and chat and talk and submit stories and
And that's been super fun. It's actually
Yeah. Oh,
pretty
yeah.
popping in there.
Oh, yeah.
So if you guys ever want to join that, it's gilded.gg/ Everyone Sucks Here. Did you know we actually have a little announcement with that?
Oh. Yeah.
Get this. We are officially verified on we've got a blue check mark on Gilded. We our server
I'm verified on something finally.
not even my personal server is verified.
Yeah.
Our ESH, I was like, you know what? We're fucking real. I'm gonna do this. So I submitted a little thing, and then it came back, and we are officially we got the blue check mark and everything. So if you go to gilded.gg/ Everyone Sucks Here, you will see the blue check mark. We are
That's
real.
how popping it is. We're verified, baby.
I love how we found out. It was literally I went on to say some trash ass shit in the Gilded, and I looked up and I was like, "Did we get a blue check mark? Is this what is
this
this?
real?
Is this what is that?" And AJ was like, "Oh yeah,
Forgot I did that.
I forgot I did that."
That old thing.
So yeah, that's
pretty cool.
Pretty cool. I think that's pretty exciting news
Yeah.
there. So we've got a verified thing. We're all real. So that is open for everybody. If you're listening on any of the services, whatever, if you're listening on your iPhone, whatever, gilded.gg/ Everyone Sucks Here. There's also an app for iPhones and for Android, whatever. But you guys can hang out and talk with us and chat and submit stories and talk about the stories, talk about these, share your pictures of your pets, whatever the fuck. Whatever you want to do, it's all there. And then also, I've got my own little announcement, which is that I have, and actually, it's okay. By the time this episode comes out, it is out now. Which would be the newest video on my personal YouTube, which is youtube.com/simplyaj. I think it's pretty fucking good. I was laughing putting it together. I know Sam was pretty mad while I did it.
Oh no!
Because here's the thing, Sushie. If you watch it, I don't know if you watch my shit or not, but you should watch this one if you watch anything. It's so fucking relatable because I'm just gonna say it's very relatable. It's very fucking relatable. I promise you, if you watch it, you'll be like, I relate to this. And I know it's gonna piss you off in the way that in a way, but you're gonna relate to it.
According to Sam's face, right at this current moment,
trust me, I think you'll get a laugh. I think
not pleased right now.
I know, but she also got a chuckle out of it, so it's okay.
I did.
It's not that it's not funny. It's that it's just
What did you do?
It's unfortunately super relatable. You're gonna have to go
What did you do?
What did you do?
You will see. So youtube.com/simplyaj is the latest video.
What did you do?
Alejandro. Yeah, it's a good one. This is a good one.
I think it's relatable to everybody, especially.
Oh my God.
us.
What is it?
I'll tell you the topic after we're done recording because I can't say it right now.
Right.
I'll tell you when we're done.
But go watch that latest video.
Yeah, go watch it, everybody.
Yeah, okay, I will. All right, you sold me.
It came out on
excited.
Tuesday.
I'm really excited about it. It's because it's a little bit different, but I'm genuinely like I'm beaming about it. It's gonna be good.
You're like geeked out.
I'm geeked out.
Cool.
It's good. So.
That's awesome. I like it when we start getting like proud of our content and we're like, oh, this is good. And I know it's good. And people are like, strangers are telling me that it's good and they like it. Like, that's an interesting feeling.
Yeah.
So I hope you all watch it because it's no matter what you're into. Like, I know a lot of my content is video game themed, but it's still, trust me, super relatable for anybody. But yeah, you'll see. I think that's all we've got, like, announcement-wise.
Yeah, I think so.
I've got the links to both their fan houses. They are always in the bottom down there for YouTube stuff. So, and again, if you're listening on the podcast services, it's just fanhouse.app/SamJ and fanhouse.app/SushieMonsters. So.
Yes.
Yeah.
Correct.
We have full stories for you guys today.
Who
Who do you want to go first, Sam? You want me to go first? How you?
I see you have an Am I the Asshole, so I think you should go first.
I do. I went ahead and now the irony is the fact that if you guys listened on this past Monday here, you would go, oh, it's almost like Sushie and AJ planned this because of her Am I the Asshole story. Wasn't planned. This just always happens. Somehow we always like the three of us always seem to have these like weird like relatable stories. And that's where we're at with this. So this is, am I the asshole for refusing to look after my roommate's kid and calling the police for child abandonment?
Oh, shit. This escalated quickly.
Yes. So the landlord rented out the other room to a mom and her 2-year-old daughter. Wasn't a big fan of the idea, but I have no input on who gets the room as each room is a separate lease.
A room?
Yeah, which by the way, I don't think I could ever live in that kind of situation. It's one thing to have a roommate, but for somebody else, but to have a landlord that decides like,
yeah,
you don't even get to decide your roommates together.
Yeah.
You know, that's too much. I squashed the idea very early on that I will watch, feed, or entertain the kid in any way. She's asked a few times for me to watch her daughter just for a bit and share food that I've ordered, but I've made it clear that it will not happen every time. She texted me on Saturday while I was playing a game that she had a family emergency and I need to watch her kid overnight. No response to my texts after that. Fuck that. So I called the cops and told them the child was abandoned. After that, I left and went to a movie with my phone on silent. I'm not sure what happened after that, but she was back when I came home from the movie. She is trying to get the landlord involved now, too. Am I the asshole? So wow. I pulled this from a place that I unfortunately can't read the comments, but I think 100% everyone sucks here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because one, like, if you have a kid and you don't have the means to fucking figure out, like, your kid is not other people's responsibility, is your fucking responsibility. It is, and let alone a complete and utter stranger. This isn't even like your friend.
Yeah.
This is a fucking stranger. This is somebody else rented out a room, and you're like, this is a complete and utter fucking stranger.
Why can't you take the kid to the family emergency?
Yeah, exactly. You take the fucking kid with you, whatever.
Right.
But the OP is also an asshole because this is a 2-year-old. And not only did you left a 2-year-old alone, you fucking monster. Yes. Does it suck that you have this fucking weird ass roommate that you can't control? Yes, that is awful. But this kid is the most innocent part of this equation. And you as a fucking human being have the responsibility to go, oh, I'm alone with this kid. And yeah, that's fucking annoying. But I'm not, you don't abandon a 2-year-old, let alone, also, in period, don't ever willingly call the cops and invite them into your house. And also don't ever call the cops and invite them into your house when you're not home.
Cop callers, like, stop.
Don't call the cops. Don't invite the cops in your house. And don't invite the cops in your house when you're not home. Are you kidding me?
The thing that I hate the most about this is that she was willing to leave her 2-year-old overnight.
With a stranger. Yeah. I don't know if I hate that more than the actual person who went, you know what? I'm going to leave this kid alone. I don't know which one I hate more. I think they're both equally terrible because that's an absolutely awful mother who does this, who goes, I'm going to abandon my fucking kid and leave them here with this complete and utter stranger. But it also is a fucking monster to go, I'm going to abandon this kid because fuck them. Like,
yeah,
it's a 2-year-old, dude.
Yeah.
Like, they got I already told the story before about how before everything was a fucking disaster, when Sam and I were at the mall.
Oh, yeah.
And we literally saw a toddler walking around alone, and I fucking was keeping my eye on it because I was like, oh my God. And then found out the parents were playing some fucking shitty hide and seek game in the mall. But you see that kind of shit, you need to step up and not, it's a fucking toddler, dude. I don't care if you hate kids, whatever, it's a toddler. It's a fucking baby. They're innocent. At the very least, if you're gonna if you're gonna do this, call the cops for child abandonment, stay with the fucking kid. Don't just, I'm gonna abandon it too.
And now she's trying to get the landlord. What is the landlord gonna do? Say, yeah. If I was the landlord, I'd be like, okay, well, if I can figure out how to way to get both of y'all out,
yeah,
fuck both of you. God damn,
you're both trash.
Get out.
You're both trash.
God damn. Everybody sucks here.
Everybody sucks.
Everyone sucks. Yeah. Oh my God.
I had almost picked another one, and I'll just do a quick little summary of it, but I didn't, just because it was fucking. It's one of those ones, it got a little too dark, but it was and then I realized it's just the same old bullshit of you're not the asshole, you're just writing a story sort of thing, which is am I the asshole for getting pregnant before my sister-in-law? And it was this whole thing about the fucking sister-in-law was demanding that this woman literally abort her baby and shit because it was you're not allowed to have the first grandkid sort of thing because we're older than you sort of deal. And then as I read the story,
you fucking lying. What?
I'm dead serious. This is a real ass story, and I almost read it, but the only reason I'm giving this light little summary recap is because after I read it, I went, damn, you really had to ask that. If you were the asshole in this situation, this is too stupid for me to to really discuss. But so I'm just throwing that out there. If you have a story that you think that is that blaringly obvious, then just don't ask the question if you're the asshole. Just tell the story as it is. Don't act like am I the asshole here? Just tell the story and be done with it. So what have you got for us, Sam?
So I actually found a new little subreddit here that I've been browsing through. It's really good. So previously we had oh God, what is it called? I don't work here or something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah. So this is Tales from the Customer. And a lot of them are really, really good. So this one caught my eye. And this is from 3 years ago, but it's still pretty good. You should have been here at 7 a.m., even though your appointment time says 9 a.m.
That's the title.
Yeah, that's the title. My vet has been after me to take my dog to get his teeth cleaned. I made an online appointment to drop him off and received a confirmation email of my appointment time being 9 a.m. A couple days ago before the appointment, I received another reminder email with 9 a.m. I arrived to a clinic at 8:45 a.m. and check in with the receptionist. They asked me to have a seat and they'll come to get my dog quickly to take him back. About 30 minutes later, after no one had come, I asked the receptionist if there was a delay, and she responded, well, you should have been here at 7 a.m., so since you're late, it's taking longer. I replied that the appointment time I received and confirmed was for 9. She refused to accept my answer and continued to say that it was 7 a.m. and it doesn't matter what I received. I politely sat back down to wait again instead of engaging in an argument. Shortly after, they came to take my dog back to clean his teeth. I spoke with the vet tech, and they said that the reason for the 7 a.m. arrival was for blood work, but it wasn't a big deal, and they'd get it done still. Before leaving, I looked up the email on my phone, and of course, it said 9 a.m. I proceeded to try to show the email to the receptionist, who didn't even look at the email and instead said, I don't have control over the email sent. That's corporate. I responded that she may not be responsible for sending the emails, but she works for the company who does and should be able to provide the feedback. She smirked at me and kept to her story that it wasn't her problem and it was my fault I wasn't informed of the early arrival. The smirking is what sent me over the top. She began to act as if she wanted to physically fight, which was fine with me, but the lead tech came out to defuse the situation. Eventually, I left to do a few errands while they completed the teeth cleaning. 3 p.m. rolls around and I began to get worried that I hadn't heard from the vet since 9 a.m. I attempted to call with no answer, and after a few tries, someone did. I asked about my dog, and they simply responded with, he's doing good. He's been out to pee, and they should be calling you soon. And we hung up. 4:30 p.m. comes, and I'm starting to get more and more upset that I have no idea what's going on. I tried calling, and despite numerous calls, I couldn't get through. I called corporate, who also was having trouble getting through. Corporate told me the only way to truly speak with someone was to go there. I tell the guy on the phone he better hope he gets a hold of them before I get there to warn them I'm coming because it won't be pretty. I drive 30 minutes with corporate still trying to get a hold of them. I park, get out of the car, walk up to the front desk, and wait for the receptionist. Corporate comes back on the phone saying they still can't get a hold of them. I tell the guy, oh, I know. I'm right here waiting for the receptionist to stop ignoring me, and I'm watching them ignore your phone calls. At the vet, I ask about my dog. They hadn't even completed the teeth cleaning. My dog had been kenneled for 8 hours for nothing. At this point, my voice is raised and I'm not holding anything back. The same lead vet tech comes out to discuss with me, and while I'm explaining that just that morning, the receptionist, who wasn't there anymore, had argued with me about needing to be there at 7 a.m. for nothing, that it wouldn't have mattered whether I got there at 7 a.m. or camped out in the parking lot, they wouldn't have completed my dog's cleaning anyway. I also pointed out the fact that no one communicated with me about them not being able to get to my dog. What does this vet tech do? She smirks at me. I couldn't even contain the rage anymore. I started lecturing her about the smirking and the fact that the same behavior is what set me off with the morning receptionist. She swore she wasn't smirking and apologized, but it was too late. I told her if they don't bring me my dog, I will go back there myself and get him. An employee in the store, the vet clinic, is inside a pet store, who was leaving, stopped in his tracks and began watching the altercation between me and the lead vet tech. He stood there for about 5 minutes holding an empty water jug about 15 to 20 feet away. After I finished giving the tech a lecture, I turned to the employee and said, "Can I help you? You can keep moving. This isn't a show." His response was to turn around and walk back into the grooming salon that was right next to the vet and point at me as he gossiped to his coworkers. Me? I waved. I yelled, "Where's your manager?" He came back out and told me he was the manager and he was worried about the vet tech's safety. I turned to the vet tech and asked her if she felt threatened, and she replied no. I pointed out to him that he wasn't needed, and if he was so worried about her safety, he should have been much closer than 20 feet away for so long and shouldn't have retreated to his grooming salon until I called him out for gossiping. As I'm talking to him, a woman appears and asks what's going on. Guess what? She was the manager. I tell her that homeboy wanted to be an onlooker and then go and gossip to other employees. She tells me he wouldn't do that. I tell her at this point, all I want is to leave. All I want is my dog, and I'm gone. They bring my dog out while the manager, grooming employee, and lead vet tech are there. Homeboy tries to pet my dog. Excuse me, but you were just so threatened by me, so why are you trying to pet my dog? Don't touch him. That's me. Don't touch my dog.
My fucking dog.
Don't touch my fucking dog. As I'm trying to leave, the lady who runs the clinic comes out and tells me she wants to talk. I respond, I'm done talking. They've lost my dog as a patient. She continues to try to get me to speak with her, so finally I give in. I don't want to be rude to an older lady. As I'm describing everything I've been through, the incorrect time on the email, the receptionist with the attitude, my dog being contained for 8 hours for no reason, the lead vet tech smirking, the employee who couldn't mind his business, she proceeds to tell me that they knew when I dropped him off that they wouldn't be able to get to him because of another emergency. Say what? She also tells me they're having a lot of trouble with the employees at the clinic, and she's upset at my experience and wants the opportunity to do better. She offers to clean my dog's teeth if I bring him in again, to which I reply, absolutely not. I've got problems with at least 2 of your employees, and you want me to trust your team to take care of my dog? You're crazy. I left and vowed never to shop at the pet store nor use the clinic or grooming salon ever again. Good riddance. And there were so many comments from people who work at vet clinics and stuff, and they basically all said what doesn't make sense is there usually isn't a problem saying, hey, we have this emergency that came in.
Yeah.
We're not going to be able to get to it until this time, or you're going to need to reschedule. Why didn't they just do that?
So
right. It's weird.
This kind of shit gets to me and pisses me off, mainly because, I mean, one, having dogs and dealing with like vets, especially these last like 2 years, I absolutely fucking despise the receptionists at the place that we take our dogs to.
Yeah.
Like, I fucking hate them because they are rude. They are shitty fucking individuals. Because they're not techs, they're not doctors, they're literally just the fucking receptionists. And they have absolutely fucking zero empathy for your situation or for the dog situation. They don't give a fuck about anything, and they treat you like you're fucking trash. Like,
very bizarre.
They're fucking awful. And I don't understand how you get a position like that.
Yeah, they just have attitudes.
And lack empathy and have so much fucking attitude. Like, I hate that shit. Like, don't you ever fucking smirk at me if you're a fucking receptionist and you're pissing me off. Like, are you kidding me? Like, the fucking smirk would set me off too.
Yeah.
Like, that's the kind of shit that's like,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
it reminds me of how, like, also there's no winning with these situations. Like the last time we took Koji in, right? He had an appointment at 8:30 in the morning. I arrive at 8:15 and I'm like, hey, we're here. And they're like, okay, cool. Somebody will be out shortly for you, right? And I'm like, all right, cool. The next appointment that he had was also at 8:30 in the morning. I arrive at 8:15 and they go, you're a bit early, so, you know, you're going to have to wait a bit. Okay. Like, I know that I'm
right. Like,
early.
my appointment's at 8:30.
I get that. I'm letting you know that I'm here because the appointment is at 8:30, meaning that's when he is supposed to be seen by the doctor. Like, people seem to forget
right.
this
So
shit.
you could be doing your paperwork and all the intake shit.
Like, he should be in the office at 8:30. They don't come out and get him until 8:45. So I sat there for 30 fucking minutes. Then somebody comes out to get him. And then you sit in the office, and I get it. There's other things going on, and other people, maybe another person has a lot of questions, and they're holding it to death.
Yeah.
I get all that, but at the same time, don't like get this weird like, well, you're here. Well, yeah, I'm here when I should be. I'm here at 8:15 for an 8:30 appointment, and every time I've come here before that, it's like, yeah, somebody will be out there shortly. Now, don't post. Well, you're here early. No shit, Sherlock. Like, what the?
Yeah. I hate when I do make an appointment for something and I have to wait. So what was the point of me making the appointment?
Yeah.
All doctors, no matter what it is, if it's a fucking vet or an actual doctor, are the fucking worst for that because you will literally get there. You are to make an appointment. You are expected to be there 30 minutes early, but also you're expected to be okay with them being an hour late. Like, so, and you just have to dedicate all this extra time. And then by the time they get you into the fucking room, you still wait on them even longer.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, and it's one of those things where I look at it and there's the part of me that wants to go, hey, this is like, it's not their fault. But at the same time, I go, you know what? No, it is their fault because that just means they need more fucking doctors. If you can't meet your appointment, it's kind of like that same mentality of, when people get mad about like, oh, you shouldn't just quit your job because that puts the other people out. If you just walk out, that means your other employees get fucked. No, your other employees are getting fucked because management didn't hire enough people. It's not on the employees to do this shit. But at the same time, if you make an appointment, You need to meet that fucking appointment. Hire more vets.
I talk not about the vet stuff, but I talked to somebody about the doctor stuff, like specifically going in and you have an appointment, but then you have to wait like an hour. And they said that when you have an office that's pretty popular with this one doctor or whatever, one person calling in and saying I need to be seen today can throw off the entire day, because you have to figure out how to get them in between visits, and also, try to uphold the same appointment. And someone taking extra time to like continuously ask the same questions will throw off the entire day.
And I understand, like, when it comes to like asking the questions about like, oh yeah, like people are curious about their own health, right?
Yeah.
However, I can't really get behind the whole, I need to see you today. Well, so does everybody else. That's why they're all going to the doctor. And you have no idea if your emergency is any more of an emergency than anybody else's. So I'm sorry, but I don't care. Like, if it's that big of an emergency, then go to the fucking ER or go to a fucking urgent care. But like, if you're like, it's an emergency, I got to see Dr. fucking Smith. Okay, well, so why do you think all the other people are here too, though? Unless you're literally bleeding out, which you're not. So, and if you were, you would go to the fucking actual emergency room. There's just, it's just like, at a certain point, you have to draw a line somewhere. And it shouldn't be like, oh, well, we'll just put them in because they insisted upon it. Well, what about me? I insisted upon it too, Like, I got a fucking problem too, and so does this person and this person. Like, we have appointments for a fucking reason. Maybe I'm being too fucking black and white about it, but I don't know. It's just, I hate doctors and I hate vets, and they're all fucking trash.
Jesus. Yeah. It's really rough, and especially now, and especially after we learned that it's specifically for the vet, since the pandemic, everything's been out of whack with the vets. Emergency vets have been overrun because they can't get in with the regular vets, especially since they, the lockdowns, because of the restrictions and everything. They've been, and then you have to also take into account all these people who got a dog or a cat or a pet during the pandemic.
Yeah.
There was an onslaught of that. So people had to go in and get the puppy shots and the spay and neutering and all that. And that really, put an uptick on everything.
But here's my thing with that kind of stuff too. Like, if it's, when it went during like mid-pandemic or like, like towards the beginning, I get it. It's an adjustment period. You got to figure this stuff out, right? We've been in this pandemic. We're going on fucking like 2 years of this shit. So find a new solution, hire more doctors, literally do anything besides what you're doing now, because it's not fucking working. This is, if this is the new norm, and that like, we have to fucking stay outside and we can't be in there or whatever the fuck it is, like, then you need to figure out how to get more people in. And if that means y'all got to work an extra 2 days or get, because like that's it. They're also closed on like fucking certain days. Okay, well then open up on those days and have a doctor that can then work them. Like, because people are always willing to work too, but it's like, oh, well, the whole clinic closed on Sunday. Why? Why is the whole clinic closed on Sunday? There could be, that's a whole fucking day that I guarantee somebody would be willing to work. There's always days that people are willing to work, but you just decide to close on Sundays because fuck them, I guess. Like, then get a doctor that would work on Sundays. Like, there's solutions that people could do by now, but they're just choosing not to. Everyone wants to live like it's 2019 when it's fucking 2021, and you gotta fucking make new ways to adapt to this fucking situation as opposed to just continuing to do nothing.
I do agree with that. I feel like the world is really holding on to this 9 to 5 Monday through Friday like framework of things that just like, because there's so many more freelancers and people that work for like entrepreneurs, business, like there's just more people who like work for themselves or things that just have like not traditional work hours. I feel like there's a lot of industries like that, or like eye doctors or whatever, that really are structured to this old way of doing business that doesn't really work for a lot of people at this point.
A lot of people. Yeah.
Like a lot of people just being open from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Monday, or not even Monday, like Tuesday through Thursday.
Yeah.
Like you have to you have to adapt. Like maybe have some like 1 or 2 nights a week where you're open later, or you're like, yeah, you're right. Why are you closed on a Sunday? Like, because a lot of people work Monday through Friday. So how can you expect them to take off of work to go bring their dog to get their teeth cleaned if they're fucking at work and they're off on Sundays? Like you're right. Like there's got to be some person who's like, I'll work a split shift.
There's always people willing to do it, and there's some people who work better for their schedule. You know? Like, so it's not like, oh, I gotta work Sunday. Like, nah, they don't give a shit because their days that they would normally have off might be fucking Monday and Tuesday or whatever the fuck. It's like you could easily find people that could make this clinic be open on Sundays. That like you could have a doctor that just works on Sundays or whatever the fuck, or works Sunday through fucking Thursday, so they always have overlap. You could find a fucking receptionist and vet techs that'll be willing to work on Sunday. Stop this shit.
My last vet in Hawaii, it was a considerably small clinic. They still had 4 fucking vets that worked there. And it's because they would switch off days.
And that's just it. Like I've had animals I've had pets for like a majority of my life. And it hasn't been until the last couple of years that like this has been an issue.
Yeah.
I've never. Yeah. I mean, literally, like I'm so fucking tired of fighting with them to get like one of our dogs an appointment when it's like, okay, well, he's literally out of medicine that you guys prescribed him and he needs. Oh, well, we can get him in 3 weeks. What do you mean in 3 fucking weeks?
Yeah.
You know, like what if you're all saying this shit that you're all overbooked and all this, then you're fucking failing at this point and something has to change because it's never been like this. Like it used to be like, oh, I've literally, there were like back in like 2009, there would literally be things like, oh, I gotta take my cat to the vet real quick, like in the same fucking day. Can you come in later today? Yeah, whatever. You know, like I don't know what the fuck has happened, but it's like impossible now to just get a normal vet appointment within like a reasonable amount of time. I do not fucking understand it. Like something has just happened that it's just like impossible now. And it's just like something has to change because like what are we supposed to do? We can't make it any better. It's like they need to fucking make it better. They need to have more hours, more employees, whatever the fuck they need to do needs to happen.
I think it's more like split shifts. It's like there are a lot of businesses are just very focused on like, no, we close at 5. I don't know, it's the way we've always done it. And then they'll be off on some stupid day like Monday, and it's like all industry people are off on Monday. So you're alienating so many working people that work Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
Well, you know, and so you're closed on Monday. Like they're one day, like, bruh.
And to push it even farther too, it's one of those things like even like the hours are getting to, again, it's like, it's weird because like we talk about like the lack of jobs and all this stuff, right? How many more jobs that open up if places stopped closing at 5? Because there are people who'd be willing to work later than that. There's people who'd be willing to work any there's always somebody, I guarantee it, willing to work any shift for any hours at any fucking point in time.
For any industry.
For any industry. And if the places like people might argue like, oh well, you know, they might not get as much business, but one, you don't know that. You know, like
you don't know that unless you try, and you haven't tried because you're all like boomers.
Yeah, exactly. And that's just it. Like there are so like because like
we've never done that before. It's just never been done that way.
Sushi, there are places that Sam and I have gone to try to get food that have closed at 7 p.m. on the weekend. And you're like,
I don't even know what that means. That's dinner time.
That's dinner time. 7 p.m. on a fucking Saturday.
It's bright as shit outside.
The traffic is in full fucking force right now.
No sense.
And they're like, oh, we're closed. What the fuck do you mean? Like, get off this fucking baby boomer bullshit 9 to 5 schedule, man. Like,
people literally forget that there's a whole industry of people who work overnight who still need things. We need to grocery shop. We need doctor's appointments. We need to get fast food. We're on lunch breaks. And they completely forget about this shit. I would absolutely love to have a 24-hour retail somewhere around here.
And that's the irony, the fucking irony of it, especially with the doctors thing too, is the fact that they're like, it's not just us who's like, oh, we do weird schedules, you know, like, oh, I work night shift for my fucking tech job or whatever. Doctors and hospitals work night shifts.
Yeah.
What about them? What about nurses and doctors and all these people who need to go out and get some
firefighters?
Yeah, there's plenty of what people would consider real jobs or whatever the fuck that all work nights as well. Or who do you think keeps the fucking world running? Like the electricians and the fucking people who are working at like your electric company,
construction workers.
Yeah, they're there all night long. The people who are managing your internet are there all night fucking long. You know, these are like the people that are literally keeping the world running are doing so at night, yet have no access to anything.
They're still on this structure of like, nope, if you don't work at a bank, like you don't have a real job.
Yeah. And it's like, yet they will gobble up all the work and the hard work that everybody's doing to keep their fucking life normal. You know, like
you're right. It's not just people like me, like just bartender, who cares? It's not a real job. But like, it's not just people like me. It's like infrastructure people.
Yeah.
People that are like taking care of the sewers. People that are.
It never stops.
Garbage men. I don't know if that's like the PC term, but like they're working at like 2-3 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
They have to eat. They have to go shopping. They have to.
They have to do things too.
They have to do things, and they're people. It's not.
These big ass industries have like so many people working.
I hate the structure, like the corporate, like everyone has to be Monday through Friday from this time to this time. You have a half an hour break. It's like the world just doesn't work that way.
It does not fucking work that way. And it's like, I don't know how you possibly get any of that to change because we're just fucking 3 small voices on the internet. But like, it's just one of those things where it's like, it's infuriating because we're affected by it, but people who are much more important than us are also affected by it.
Right. It's not just like, me that is off on a random Monday. Like doctors, nurses, paramedics, they have the same sort of, you know. So this whole like, and
then you're punished
4 p.m.
Yeah, and that's it. You're punished for doing it, not only because you can't get food, but like also, what if you get sick? Well, okay, so I'm awake at these hours and I'm sick at these hours, and that means now I have to go to the fucking urgent care and pay more money because I don't get to have a normal doctor because my normal doctor is only there from fucking until 4 p.m. You know, like you just get punished.
Not even normal. You're so right. Like 4 p.m. Why are you closing at 4 p.m.? People who work a regular job are still at work.
Yeah. And
you're catering to this like really very odd social structure, but you're not even catering to that. So many doctors' offices close at like 4 p.m.
Yeah, so you basically live the life of, I guess I'm just going to urgent care and paying more money for everything forever.
Or I have to lose out in money and leave my take off from my job because you won't stay open till like 7 p.m. on a Wednesday.
It's
like nothing crazy. Like you can just go, like work your regular job and go to your doctor's appointment.
His apartment.
That's what you gotta do to get service, right? You gotta go to your appointment. Just go to your appointment at like 6 p.m.
Yeah.
If my nail tech can do it, right? These vets can do it. You best believe my nail tech is open at 9 p.m. on a Friday.
And you're telling me, like,
fucking believe.
Especially with how erratic and fucking, like, the thing is, too, our sleep schedules as human beings, like, are some of the most erratic, like, not just, like, us three as people, but just people in general, like, is structured around, like, work, right? So that's why, like, if you don't have work, a lot of people might sleep in more because, like, they're falling onto their natural fucking sleep schedule, their natural circadian rhythm and everything, right? You're telling me there aren't fucking vets out there who are just like more naturally leaning towards night owl? You know, they'd be willing to fucking do the job because they themselves are more night owls and they went into the field of fucking being a vet, but the offices are only open till 9 to 5, so now they force themselves. Like, it's just fucking stupid. You know, like, it's all fucking stupid. Tear down the system and build it all over again. We're fucking destroying the establishment.
Yeah.
Down with everything.
Rage against the machine.
Rage against the machine. Tom Morello.
Okay. Tom Morello.
Fucking show us the way. Tom Morello. Pave the fucking.
This shit ain't working.
Yeah.
I'm an angry millennial and I have stuff to say.
God damn.
I inherited the fucking salt of the earth.
Right.
So what have you got for us? Layers of deception.
Oh. Okay, well, let's get into it. All right, it's time for Layers of Deception, where I try to trick my friends because I care. You know? So I find 2 headlines, one from theonion.com, which is a satire comedy website, and one that is real. It exists on the internet. It's something that actually happened. And then we'll see who's right and who's laughing. I don't know. All right. So article number 1 is Juilliard opens business school for students who realize acting thing probably is a long shot. And second article headline is Scientists tweak daddy long legs genes to create daddy short legs.
It's the daddy long legs. You know
It's
those.
the daddy long.
Y'all,
They're out here playing with fire. They're out here. They're fucking. They're doing some shit.
You guys are so confident that this is the real one?
Yeah.
Because scientists. Okay, just
Scientists need to be stopped.
Really need to be like, let's take this daddy long legs and make it a daddy short legs.
I'm gonna sound like my dad here for a second because this is something he said all the time, but I do agree with. Scientists literally set off a nuclear bomb in the ionosphere, and then went, "We got a hole in the ozone layer, guys." Like, well, maybe if you weren't setting up just to see what happens, nuclear bombs in the ionosphere, just to see what fucking happens, they don't give a shit. They are all about, let's see what happens. So that's why it's daddy long legs.
Okay. All right. Well, you guys are right. You guys have been really figuring me out. I got to switch up my game, but they are correct. To some, they're charming. To others, they're creepy. But regardless of your feelings about the daddy long leg spider, odds are good you've seen the ubiquitous, that's a word that I don't know how to say, arachnid cruising up a wall or over its silky web somewhere. And no, it's most certainly not capable of killing you. Now, scientists have done something with one species of the house-dwelling spider you've certainly never seen before. They've created daddy short legs specimens by tweaking the creature's genes. Oh, nothing bad can come of this. Just a casual tweaking of one's genes. Researchers led by Guilherme Gainet, that's a person, I guess, from the University of Wisconsin-Madison, first sequenced the genome of Phalangium. Oh, God, fuck these words. Technically not a spider, but a close relative. Okay, so the technical term for the daddy long legs, whatever the hell that is. Thought to be among the most widespread of more than 6,000 different species of daddy long legs, also known as harvestmen, documented worldwide. Next, the scientists use a technique called RNA interference to basically turn off or knock down a pair of genes associated with leg development in hundreds of daddy long leg embryos. The result was that 6 of the animal's 8 legs were about half the size of their normal unengineered counterparts. But why?
Yeah, why?
But why?
So, just so a little bit of science here for everybody, and also in case we have any European listeners, when we say daddy long legs, we are referring to the American daddy long legs. In England, they actually have a different daddy long legs, what we call the crane fly, or just fucking like just those fucking like those big old house flies you get with the fucking what are they called? They're fucking. It's basically it's just a big bug with wings. That's what they call daddy long legs in England. So when you say daddy long legs, they don't think of the spider. They think of the fucking
a fly.
It's like
I've never heard of that. That's interesting.
Yeah.
The legs seem to be transformed into a different kind of appendage known as a pedipalp, which is used in handling food. So they gave them little hands. Oh God, they're gonna kill us all. The genome of the daddy long legs holds great potential to clarify the complex history of arachnid genome evolution and body plan, as well as to reveal how daddy long legs make their unique long legs. The study is, I don't feel like reading this anymore. That's gross.
Okay, so I looked it up about like what they call it in England. Okay, what they call this in the South?
Yeah.
A skeeter eater.
A skeeter eater? Yeah, they're the things.
Like that name.
They're literally the things that they kind of look like a giant mosquito.
Yeah.
But like, mayfly. Though that's it. The mayflies. In England, it's a crane fly or called a mayfly, but they call those daddy long legs. Which isn't that really weird that we have like 2 parts of the world? We're like, you know what? We found this weird bug. Let's call it daddy long legs. Like,
that's a skeeter eater.
Right.
That's one of them that are skeeter eaters.
That's a skeeter amber ducks.
Skeeter eater.
Amber ducks.
Amber ducks. You never heard that?
No.
You're from the South. You never heard the whole amber ducks thing? It's like 2 men are talking like MR ducks. MR not ducks. OSMR ducks. Like,
What?
it's a whole thing. I don't fucking know. You guys
Wow,
have to
you're
look it
really
up.
bad at this.
It's a whole fucking Southern thing. You
No,
should
it's
know all
not.
about. Yes, it is.
No.
It doesn't
Look it
sound
up.
like it is.
Listen, look it up. When have I ever been wrong about things? You guys keep trying to pull this shit, but then you realize
there's
I'm
an
always right.
authentic Southern person on this call.
Yeah, but just because she's an authentic Southern person doesn't mean she knows everything about the South. You guys also.
I'm gonna vote. She probably knows more than we do. I'm gonna give it to her on this one.
Hammer ducks. Look it up.
All right.
I guarantee.
But you have to do the was it Boomhauer? You have to do the Boomhauer voice.
Yeah, hammer ducks. Oh, similar ducks.
Or
It's
it
a
doesn't
thing.
count.
I don't know what it's from.
I'm pretty sure we've had this conversation before, and you told me that your dad told you about it, and I said that is not
It's
a
a
fucking
real
thing.
You know what? And then I looked up and I showed you, and then you went, like you always do. When I prove you wrong. Yeah, MR
Sam's
ducks
never been wrong
joke.
ever in her life.
MR jokes. Oh my God.
Yeah, I don't know where it came from. I just there's a whole thing with it. See,
You
MR
just
ducks,
made it up.
MR
That's where it came from.
OSMR, CM. I don't know what it comes from. It's just it exists and it's been around forever, and I don't know where it came from.
Okay. That's probably Texas, which really isn't the South.
What do we call in the South? Everything's the South. Everything below Kentucky is South. And Kentucky thinks they're the South when they're actually the North. But
They are?
yeah.
Yeah, Kentucky is still the South.
They like when you draw the fucking line or whatever, technically Kentucky is the North, but they think they're the South.
I mean,
And I'm pretty sure during the Civil War
Listen,
they
if
were
you want to
actually-
be a pick me and be like, I'm Southern, you can take it.
right.
all I'm
You can
all I'm
take it.
gonna say is that there's really no difference between Kentucky and Tennessee is the South.
Well, also, I'm pretty sure that stems from the fact that, like, during the Civil War, Kentucky was one of the neutral states.
Oh, maybe.
So
yeah.
they weren't like we don't really want to be a part of any of this. And
We're in the literal middle, and we just want to grow some corn. If y'all could just leave us out of this.
but
Yeah.
yeah, so
But guess what?
What?
When you don't speak up, you're on the side of hatred.
then you're on the side of the South. Yeah.
Hey.
So fuck you,
know.
Kentucky.
The problem with the South is that so many people think they're in the South when we'll be up here and see some shit. I'm like, dude, you are in Oregon. Like you are as north as you can possibly.
Yeah.
You're almost as north as you can be.
Honestly,
Well, I mean, we've had this conversation about
Yeah.
Oregon and Washington plenty of times. We know why that is.
I've definitely been surprised at seeing some shit. Like, even our hillbilly neighbors, I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, how many miles away am I right now? Like, god damn.
I mean, I'm from Ohio, man. We're touching Canada, and it's full of fucking rednecks. Like people.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the cities, it's the same. It's the same as everywhere else in the country. You go to the city, and it's fucking normal ass people. You go out into the fucking rural areas, and it's just fucking it's fucking Confederacy will rise again. And you're like, you're in Ohio, dude. You were never part of the Confederacy.
Confederacy will rise
Like,
again.
shut up, dude. Like,
We've been watching Preacher, and
I didn't finish it yet, but I love Preacher.
okay, so we're just finishing season 1. I've never seen anything past it.
I'm in the last season.
Okay, I've never seen anything past it, so that's why I was like, we need to start this again. I think you'd like it. But yeah, for those that don't know,
it's
Preacher
fun.
takes
Love
place in Texas, and one of the characters on the show takes part in Civil War reenactments.
Oh, yeah.
And I looked at AJ one time, and I was like, imagine fucking some dude who gets dressed up on the weekends and pretends to fight for the Confederacy.
like,
Yep.
Like, I could
Imagine that LARPing.
I
There
could
is-
never. I
No.
could never. Take
Even
that
if
shit
like I were
seriously.
Southern, and like, you know, my ideologies were like aligned with that, which they very much are not. But even if I were, right? If I couldn't take that shit seriously. Like, you're a huge loser. Like, you're going to a Civil War reenactment. Like, even if I like was into that sort of shit, I'd be like, you're lame. You're putting on a costume and pretending to fight in the Civil War with other losers.
So, in elementary school, I distinctly remember,
podcast for.
I distinctly remember them putting together Civil War reenactments, and we had to watch it. And it didn't, obviously as a fucking, 6, 7, 8-year-old, I don't know what the hell is happening besides, the Civil War happened and now I'm watching this battle. But then I remember we went to the high school one time and the high schoolers they had set up this whole like Civil War encampment to teach everybody like, oh, this is how people lived when they fought in the war. And I'm like, what? Who? Why? Why are we being taught? Why do I give a fuck?
Right.
I think
why?
We lost.
We lost. Do y'all forget that?
You lost.
I think that's the biggest fucking problem with like the American South in general, and just and really it's an American problem overall, is the fact that like you look at Germany, and the moment they fucking lost, they completely outlawed anything Nazi propaganda, anything fucking swastikas, all of it, and they have shamed themselves.
They embrace their shame.
Yeah,
Have you ever been to Germany?
No. But like,
so I've been to Berlin, and Berlin was deeply affected. It was very bombed. So not only did they leave the buildings that were bombed, they left them there. Like there was a big, I apologize, I forgot the name, but there was this big cathedral, very, very old. Half this, you look at it front on, it's fine. You turn around to the back, fucking roofs blasted off, right? They left it like that. Like you have to fucking look at that. When you're going to the market, you're just going to the pharmacy, you're picking up shit, you gotta fucking look at the consequences for your actions. So they left it like that. And they also had these little plaques in the sidewalk, embedded in the sidewalk, where like if you're just walking, you won't trip and fall, but you'll trip and like notice that they're like when the sidewalk is uneven, you're like, oh shit, you won't actually fall, but it's literally to get your attention when you're walking. And it'll have on the sidewalk, like this was a bakery and this person owned it and they never came back.
Yeah. And that's just it, is like they embrace their shame. They embrace what happened. They teach.
It's crazy. It was so surreal to see that.
Yeah, when they teach it, they literally say like, they admit full on that this is a fucking terrible blight on our own history. This is fucking awful. Yet here, we did not do that. We did not outlaw the fucking Confederate flag for whatever godforsaken reason. They fucking
freedom of speech.
Yeah, they fucking romanticize the shit.
Yeah,
and then we got
a disagreement.
We got the fucking like what, the mothers of the Confederacy or whatever, like
something
building fucking statues, literally in the 60s, like.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, a lot of people were like, "Oh, they're taking down these statues." I'm like, they're not. Like,
these statues were there to literally
from the 1800s. They were meant as scare tactics.
These statues are literally there to go, "Hey, black people, we're still here."
Watch out.
They're literally threats. You fucking ignorant pieces of shit. Like,
literally threats. They're not like these historically significant, like they haven't been up for 150 years. Nothing like that. They're shittily made, commissioned pieces of tin that sit in these public parks.
These fucking, the Confederate flag 100% needs to be outlawed and not sold anywhere and fucking illegal to have. I don't give a fuck. Like, it's fucking freedom of speech.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
Is for the fucking birds, man. Like, it's so, because everybody, like, Americans are fucking stupid. We're a stupid ass nation who for some reason believe that like it's like we have this weird belief that like every other country in the world doesn't have freedom of speech, but they do. That's the weirdest. Like, it's like you got. Do you guys really think that?
Well,
fucking,
most countries.
Yeah, but I mean, do you think that like fucking most modern day countries don't have freedom of speech?
But the thing is, too, people don't understand that the freedom of speech doesn't. It's literally so that the government.
It's the freedom. It's the freedom to speak out against your government.
Yes.
That's what it is. Because fucking King George was a fucking tyrant, and if you spoke out against him, you got killed. That's the whole point. That was the entire reason they went, okay, well, we don't want another fucking King George. We need a leader that the people can go, hey, you're fucking up, and then they give the power to the people. That was the entire point. You fucking morons.
Right.
But it's just like...
Another thing that I feel about the Confederate flag in general, I just feel like it's treason, because the whole point of the Confederacy was to deflect and leave the Union, right? So you lost. And to me, all the people are like, oh, it's our history. I'm like, oh, okay, so your history of treason? Because like you were literally trying to deflect from the country. So what is this quote unquote culture.
It's not. Yeah, it's not our history.
So I think that just that alone, the fact that these states were trying to, this is a whole history lesson that didn't mean fucking delve into. But like the fact to me that it's not banned because of that alone, it's like you try to make your own country. Are you fucking serious?
And that's just it. That is not the Confederate flag, the Confederacy. That is not the history of the United States of America.
No,
the United
it's not.
States was
It's
still
not your
there.
history. It's not your culture.
Yeah,
it's
the United States fought the Confederate States of America, which was at the time considered another fucking country. So yeah, you can't be like, it's our history. No, it's not. You didn't exist.
To wave that flag still in the United States of America and still claim to be a patriot, they're conflicting ideas to me, and they've always been. And it doesn't make any sense to me. I've had this conversation with many people over my many years of life, and it never makes sense to me. The people who really think that they have the right to wave that flag. And I'm not even talking about the grotesque history about it. I'm just talking about
in general.
I'm just talking about the facts. Like you lost a war in which you disagreed with freeing slaves, and you're like, okay, we're gonna make our own country. Let's fight about it. And you lost. How are you allowed to wave that flag?
Like, do you think people are like? It's like that's the equivalent of like. Not that Russia's a good example of anything, but like waving like the USSR. The USSR doesn't exist anymore, you know, or like the Ottoman Empire. It doesn't exist anymore. You know, like all these things, they're gone. The Confederacy is gone. Stop romanticizing this shit. Like,
and the Confederacy only lasted like 4 years. Like there's TV shows that last longer than that. SpongeBob, is that my history? I think it is.
So, skeeter eaters.
You see, you talk about the South a
you get a couple
and
leftists on a podcast.
Yeah.
It hits the fan.
Bring the South into anything, and you just got to.
They're just
listen,
like,
you can't talk about the South without shitting on it a little bit. You know?
But that's just how I've always looked at it. I'm like, grotesque history aside, how are you allowed to wave that flag?
I don't get it. Yeah. Like, literally ignoring everything. It's literally like, because there's a lot of things that are considered treason, yet somehow waving the flag of the country.
I never understood how that wasn't considered treason.
Yeah, I don't get it. I
don't know, right? It just doesn't make any sense to me. The math ain't mathin'.
You guys want to hear about Kevin?
Yeah.
I would love to hear about Kevin.
Okay. So now that we've gone on our history rant, sorry everybody, but sometimes you just got to go on a little history rant.
Sorry, fuck it, whatever. It needs to be said sometimes.
It does. This is, I didn't read the account name until just now. Kentucky Fried Soy. I don't know why.
I need it.
So this is from, Stories About Kevin. This is called Kevin Doesn't Know What Mold Is. This actually is a two-part story because it has an edit for something else that people are asking about. So it says, my brother, the Kevin in the story, has never been the sharpest tool in the shed. He believes that dolphins cause cancer, but we aren't here to discuss that.
Yes, we are.
Don't worry, there's an edit, and it's for that in specific.
Dolphins, the animal,
yes.
cause cancer.
Yeah, the Miami Dolphins. They're out there, spreading cancer. One day, Kevin was eating a croissant and asking when we got blue cheese croissants. He was saying how delicious they were and when the soonest we would have more. This is odd because the last time we bought croissants was weeks ago. I saw him holding a croissant that was covered in blue mold and happily munching away at it. I told him that it was moldy and not safe to eat, but he insisted that it was fine because it tastes all good to me. I threw out all the rest when he wasn't looking, so he couldn't eat any more blue cheese croissants.
This man!
And as for the edit, it says, edit, y'all wanted to know more about the dolphins. Okay, well, 5 or 6 years ago, Kevin was a young adolescent and we still had some hope his brain would develop further. He is very curious and loves to ask questions, so I was explaining how electromagnetic waves work in simple terms, that electromagnetic waves with really high frequencies can cause cancer. He looked shocked and asked, so wait, does that mean that dolphins cause cancer? I had to keep questioning Kevin to figure out how on earth he came up with that conclusion. He thought that 1, electromagnetic waves and the waves in the ocean are the same. And that 2, that all waves in the ocean are created by the movement of the dolphins. Thus, he concluded that dolphins cause cancer.
I thought he was confusing like sonar.
That's what I was literally thinking he was going to go for like the sonar that they have. Like, oh yeah, they cause cancer with their sonar.
Kevin.
Not like dolphins cause waves and waves cause cancer.
And the dolphins cause cancer. Hello.
Kevin, we have much to talk about.
Kevin, please stop this shit.
Kevin, cut with it.
All right, so where the fuck did I go? Oh, so I've been investigating some new ones. This is from another subreddit called Tales from the Front Desk, and it's all about hotel employees, which, let's face it, hotel employees have some pretty good fucking stories. Like, everybody that I've ever talked to who's worked in a hotel has had some fucking ridiculous stories.
Having worked in hotels, I definitely agree with this.
Okay, so the title is, I thought she was checking in for a one-night stand. Boy, was I glad to be wrong.
I don't even know what that means.
So this happened a while ago before worldwide quarantine became a thing, but I hadn't reached the karma minimum to post till recently, so enjoy. I'd been working as a front desk agent for about a week. It's my first time working at a hotel, so I'm still learning the ropes, even though I'd previously worked as a check-in agent for a cruise line. I'm working the afternoon shift, and things have been pretty slow. A couple of check-ins here and there, and that's about it. It's about 7 p.m. when this lady, we'll call her Libby, comes in, and after talking things out at the valet, makes her way over to me. We exchange greetings, and she tells me she would like to reserve a room, but only for a couple hours. Obviously, we're not a motel, so I let her know the minimum of time she could reserve a room for would be a full night. After asking what the price would be, $240, which is way too much for the kind of hotel I work at, by the way, she agrees and hands me her credit card. This is where things get weird. As soon as I ask her for ID to make the reservation, Libby backtracks and says that she doesn't want her name anywhere on the reservation and would like to make it under the name of the guy who would be joining her later. Instead, I pause for a moment, and after asking her again if she was planning on using the room as well, I tell her that I at least need to put her name into the accompanying list for the room. I reassure her that only the employees would be able to see said list and that no, the guy she was planning to meet wouldn't see it. I would like to make it very clear that throughout this whole interaction, Libby has been super composed, kind, and understanding. At this point, however, I'm just thinking she's here for a one-night stand and doesn't want the dude to know anything about her because, well, she's probably married or something, which I can work with, sure, but why not just actually get a motel, lady? This theory of mine is further solidified when Libby asked me to make a note in the reservation so that if at any point we need to address her by name around this dude, we wouldn't call her by her real name, and instead she gives me a fake name, or so I thought, to address her by. At this point, I'm obviously bewildered, but still trying to be accommodating and trying really hard not to let it show how much I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on. We go through the rest of the check-in process, and she even goes as far as showing me a pic of the dude so I'll know who he is when he comes in. I hand her the key, and she heads to her room. About an hour later, mystery dude walks in. Let's call him Jake. My coworker, who has no clue of anything, ends up checking him in, so I don't really get to see much of Jake. To be honest, at this point, I still wasn't giving the whole thing much thought other than, that's a bit weird. Not even 30 minutes have passed since Jake went up when Libby comes back down, hands me both keys, they'd both received one each, says thank you in the most serious yet cordial way, and then walks off. Multiple thoughts went through my mind as this lady was making her way to the valet. 1, that was way too fast even for a quickie. 2, why the hell did she give me 2 keys? Where's Jake? 3, Libby, please tell me you didn't murder Jake. Security is standing behind me, staring Libby down, probably having the same thought process as I am. The supervisor for security usually spends the night hanging out at the front desk. My coworker and I are whispering with each other, still trying to figure out what the hell happened because that did not look like a lady who had just had a pleasant romp in the sheets. Cue Jake coming down the stairs and, okay, we can breathe, he's not dead. Now, what happened next, we couldn't see because we suddenly had an onslaught of distressed passengers, like 30. I wanted to die, so I thought I wouldn't find out what the hell happened between Libby and Jake. But then, the worker from the valet came over, and boy, did he have some tea to spill. Turns out that Libby had gone as far as asking valet guy to park her car in a way that the license plate wouldn't be visible. Why? Turns out, Jake is Libby's husband.
I knew it!
And you might be asking yourself by this point, why has this lady gone through so much trouble to hide anything that might give her identity away from her husband? Well, dear reader, because the alias that Libby gave me just so happened to be the name of the girl Jake was cheating on her with.
I fucking knew it.
Also, Sushie, you're kind of quiet.
Oh, I am? Okay.
Yeah, got a little.
How's that? How's that?
Much better. Much better.
Okay. I knew it. And then the mistress was probably up there. Or
No, I think he
at least saw that they went for the meeting.
He walked in expecting the mistress and then saw his wife.
Yeah.
This woman somehow got her cheating ass husband to believe that his girlfriend had booked them a sweet, sweet night at the hotel, only for him to show up and find his wife sitting on the bed instead. This badass motherfucker of a woman came back downstairs after probably massacring the hell out of this idiotic boy with not a hair out of place, and calmly had the valet bring both of their cars back, and then patiently waited for Jake Schmake to get his sorry ass back to the lobby so that she could extend her hand and demand their house keys from him. She then got into her car and drove away. The only thing that would have made this even better was if Jake Schmake's girlfriend had also been there to tear into him as well. I like to think she had a part to play in this whole thing, since how else would Libby have managed to trick him into getting into the hotel? The point is, this woman is all I aspire to be.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You know, like that was good. I like that.
Yeah, this one's one of my new favorites. Tales from the Front Desk. Ugh.
That is very good. I like. That is. If you ever want to like get stories from people, definitely talk to people who work in hotels, because they see some shit.
Oh yeah. You know how many I found a dead guy stories I know from hotel people? It's ridiculous.
I've heard that because I've known a lot of people who've worked in hotels. I did for like a couple weeks, so I don't even count it. But I've known a lot of people over the years. I've worked in hotels, and they say that like they find a lot of dead people.
Yeah, unfortunately,
like an alarming amount of dead people.
I never found the dead person, but like I definitely found beds and shit that were like shattered.
Ugh. Oh God.
Yeah. It's there. I've definitely seen a lot of shit, both figuratively and literally, as working at a hotel. But it's definitely one of those jobs that if you do it just for the stories, because holy shit, you see some
like you see some shit.
I've worked in both a higher end hotel, like a Marriott sort of situation, and I've also worked in like more of like a more normal plebeian kind of like comfort suites level kind of hotel, and they both have their interesting types of people that go in.
Bet.
Yeah. But also they're very strict about like if a famous person ever stays there, it's the amount of like, I mean, everyone's basically told, do not fucking annoy this person.
Yeah.
Don't, like, cause you have to like basically be on like high alert at all times, but also like don't go into their fucking room, don't do anything, and
Don't be
I know
weird.
I'm not gonna say who it is, but I know of one celebrity that is blacklisted from a lot of hotels because they're an adult bedwetter.
Oh no.
They're like, it's like a known thing in the industry.
Oh God.
And this person at this point is probably in their 50s.
God damn.
Danny Bonaducci.
Bill Cosby. Bill Cosby.
He's older than 50.
Yeah, he is. I forgot about that.
Yeah, that's the Tales from the Front Desk is pretty good. I like that.
Yeah.
I definitely want to look into more like stories about like people's like job situations, like things they get from their jobs, like on Reddit, and see what I can find, because that's where a lot of fucking good things happen, anyways.
Yeah. That's where all the juicy stories come from.
People's workplace. But yeah, that was awesome. I enjoyed
episode.
I enjoyed both of the new things that Sam brought to the table.
Yeah, I like that.
And we had our social rant there for a little bit, but sometimes you gotta have those.
Happens every once in a while.
It's all because of the mosquito eaters.
Mosquito eaters.
But do they actually eat mosquitoes? Is that the whole point?
Kind of, yeah. It's one of those things where like growing up, like someone older is always going to yell at you for killing it because it's like when you kill a spider, it's like don't kill the spider. The spider eats all the other bugs.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a skater eater. It's keeping us safe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
God, okay, I don't even know if they make this shit anymore. Do they still make like fly paper?
Yeah.
Do they?
Yeah.
Because I remember one time I literally got my hand stuck to it and it grossed me the fuck out. Because I was literally at my uncle's house and they had some like they had one of those like rooms, like it's basically like they had a back porch, but then they kind of turned it into like a sunroom, so it had like normal walls, you know, but it still kind of had like a screen door thing. And I guess they had one right to the right of the screen door.
Oh.
So when I went to lean on it or something, I stuck my hand straight on it and I realized what it was. Not only is it the stickiest shit ever, but it had flies on it and it just disgusted me. But then I realized I don't think I've ever seen one past that point. And I was a kid then. So they still make that shit? But
I remember those ones that you like kind of like hang.
That's what it was.
And it curls.
Oh, okay. No, this just hung down on the wall.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the curly ones.
Yeah.
Like, what?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen the curly ones a lot.
Did you guys ever like deal like the bug zappers? Like, no, we always had like I always had like the neighbors that had like the fucking loud ass bug zappers too.
It's really loud. That's not just like for TV.
No, they're pretty fucking loud.
That's for rich people.
Yeah. Is it? A bug zapper? I feel like I don't think that's a rich people thing.
Well, I didn't have one.
Anyway.
So that's the barometer.
Yeah.
Sam didn't have it for rich folk.
We hope you guys enjoyed this full episode of Everyone Sucks here with Sam, Sushie, and AJ. We will catch you guys next week. Be sure to go check out all the other bullshit that we're doing. You can find links to everything, for most of the things below. If you have stories you want to give us, contact at everyonesuckshere.com. Hit us up in the gilded.gg/everyonesuckshere, whatever you want to do. We're always hanging out in there, chatting and whatnot, and we'd love to have you joined us. So we'll see you guys next week for more of this, more of whatever this is, whatever we're doing, talking about bullshit.
Yeah, more of Everyone Sucks here.
Yeah, so.
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.